So now it's on live. You can able to see how to make a file open or an image open. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And it could be done in two different manner. One of the way is through the tools. Can able to see a tool I'm using that is called zoom tool, looking like a hand lens. Move your cursor to the targeted position of your image, then just drag it up. Can you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Now, wherever you are placing your zoom tool, that particular place gets zoom.
Okay, sir.
Fine. The manual method over. Very practical. And wherever you want to get it zoom, move your cursor over there and start up dragging it up, and you can find the image very clear. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
The
Yes,
first
sir.
over. Now the second tool is the hand tool. Once your image is very zoomed, then you can have to drag it up wherever you like, in whichever you like, and get your placement ready. This second tool understood?
Yes, sir.
Fine. As per the tools, we have done this too. Now we have done it in a manual way, but now we'll switch into the professional way. How to do it up through the keyboard shortcut. Does it okay?
Yes, sir.
And it
Yes,
could
sir.
be done by the hotkey Control plus and Control minus. Right? Control plus and Control minus. This hotkey to be get remembered. Arranging zoom part is done through Control plus and Control minus. Just I'm very slow. Wherever you're not getting, we'll make it repeat. Zoom in CTRL plus plus. This is to zoom in, and CTRL plus minus. It is to zoom out. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And Control plus 0 button. Which button? 0. To get it fit to the window.
0 button.
Fit to window. Fit to window. It is to zoom in and zoom out. So check it on your screen. Control plus. I'm just hitting Control plus button on the keyboard. So I'm just showing you the keyboard also. This is the button. Control plus. And Control minus. Right? Now suddenly you want to make it to fit and see everything. Control and 0 button. Fit. Is it clear? So this is what we have done in the last class. Will I move to the next?
Yes, sir.
Then we have understood if we are opening multiple files, like more than one or more than 2, 3, 4, then how to handle these multiple files on the screen. And it is done through the Windows menu, arrange and tiling. Is it clear?
Sir.
And then we have seen the files are arranged beside to each other, but we cannot able to see it clear. To see the image clear, we need to zoom out. We can zoom out by reducing the percentage, or else we can able to zoom out by Control minus and Control plus. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
And this particular action to be done in all the images, it will take some time. That's why we can able to take the help of this option in the window menu by the name called match zoom. Then all the photograph will be get the same percentage what is done by you for the first one. So it will allow the artist to see every image in a detailed manner. I mean, like in a thumbnail manner, so that it will be easy to take a decision. This is the summary in the last class we have done for multiple image handling. Then after, it is the time to get it closed. As if you can able to see on your screen, the last part of the class is closing the file. and the closing has been done in two different manner. Either you can able to close by this icon button, or else we can able to go to the file menu and ask for close, and the keyboard shortcut control, can you able to see W. And if you need to close all the files, then Alt, Control, and W. It will close every file within a click. Is it done? So this is the summary we have learned in the last class. I hope you got the information of the last class in a summary format.
Yes,
From
sir.
that point of view, we'll be moving further. Yes, I forgot to speak one thing. Once you open an image, how to handle the image in full screen mode. Another thing we have learned in the last class, that is called full screen mode handling. Full screen mode handling. Because this is a professional screen where the artist can able to see every pixel very clearly. It may be any software. I'm not speaking about Photoshop. Even you are working with TDS Max, Maya, After Effects, InDesign, we need a huge screen so that you can able to do the operation micro level. That's why you are using two hotkeys. One is called tab and another is called F button. Is it okay? On your keyboard,
Yes, sir.
we can find two buttons over here, tab and F. These two buttons are used to make the screen to go for full screen. The first one is tab, where you can able to hide the toolbar, and the second button is F. We can able to make it full screen without the name of the file. And second F button will make it to go for full screen without menu bar. So you can see now the screen is only pick up with the image, which is in full screen mode. Again, to back to the normal stage, again the same button to be hit, the tab button, which is button, the tab button, which brings back the toolbar and all. Again, the next, again you need to hit the F button, which will bring the image to the normal stage. So just hang up with my keyboard. Okay, fine. Now you can see the image back to the normal stage. This is what the summary we got to know in the last. F, F, and F, which makes it to go for full screen. Is it okay now?
Sir.
Fine. So henceforth, we'll be moving to the next part of the class, today's topic. As if we got to know, the Photoshop is dealing with photographs. Okay, that part we have done. We need to start with the toolbar now. Toolbar, where all the tools are there in a magical way arranged properly. Let us understand the toolbar in a detail. Just I'm closing the file and taking a print screen so that we can able to see the tools in a detailed manner using this tool called snipper, where you can able to take the snapshot of it. And let us take a new file, and I'm just pasting it over and getting a zoom out. So now you can able to see the screen in a very detailed manner, the tools. Can you able to see? दिखाई दे रहा है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Now, if we can able to see the tools in a detailed manner, the toolbar is segregated by a mark. Can you able to see a horizontal mark? It segregates the tools into various categories. So the whole toolbar is segregated into 1, 2, 3, 4 category. So as per the category into concern, the tools work in a similar manner. That's why they have categorized into 4 categories. The first category of the tools helps to do the selection. And the second category of the tools helps to do creating the things and modifying the things. It will help to create the things and modify the things. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Fine. The third category is a special category, as if in the third class of the starting basic classes, we got to know graphics is of two types. One is raster graphics, another is vector graphics. Photoshop is a raster graphics software, but in Photoshop, these tools are vector. So it is a little technical term. It is related to your previous topic. And the topic is called what is graphics, how many type of graphics, which type of graphics used where, and what is Photoshop, and which type of graphics software is Photoshop. As if you got to know, Photoshop is a raster graphics software, but inside the raster graphics, these are like vector tools available, which allow the artist to make the design into scalable. The quality of the vector tools, it helps to make a design which is scalable. You can scale to any extension, the quality will not lose. Fine. So we got an idea like how many category? 1, 2, 3. And the last one are helpers. So it doesn't do more, but it helps the artist to arrange the things proper. So we got to know first how many category of tools are there in Photoshop. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Let us project the tools a little closer. Every tool does have an icon, but some of the tools does have a triangle button below to the right down. Can you able to see?
Yes, sir.
This indicate that there are some hidden tool inside it, which we can able to pop up. And ultimately we got to know Photoshop doesn't have this many tools. It does have more tool inside it, which is represented by a triangle button. Now, we can move the cursor to the tool and click there for a while, hold there for some time, and you can find the hidden tools pop up. Now I got to know how to open hidden tools, how to understand the tool does have hidden tools. How to understand? By looking to the triangle button. How to open? Moving the cursor over there, waiting for a while, hold there, and you find the pop-up comes. And you can choose the tools, whatever you want. So here we have understood how to open an hidden tool inside the toolbar. Is it done? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So the summary of till now, what are the things we got to know? We got to know how many category of tools are there, what are those, why they have categorized in that area, and how to recognize hidden tools, how to pop up the hidden tools. Fine. Next, whenever we move the cursor over to a tool, we'll find the name of the tool and the keyboard shortcut of it. So as a starter, we can able to focus to this side. It will save your time. The next time if you need the tool, no need to come over here and click. As if you got to know, this particular tool does have a name called Elliptical Marquee tool, and the keyboard shortcut is M. So next time if you need the tool, just hit the button M. So you can see the Marquee tool get activated. It's a very patientful job, and once you start of adopting this method, then it will save your time. You only need to move your cursor like this. So what is the task to be done? Note down all the tools name and their keyboard shortcut in your book. And how to note? Move the cursor over to the tool, wait for a while. The software will tell his name and the keyboard shortcut, note it down. Is it okay now? Fine. So this is a task to be done of find all the tools name and the keyboard shortcuts and note in your book. So that next time if you need the tools, you only need to move the cursor like this. It is a disturbance. Yes. Unless we do that, we need to move the cursor like this for lifetime. And it happens. to professionals also. Once they get started habiting themselves moving like this, they come and click, come and click. So now also, like, what is the benefit once you are adopting this method? I'm just telling very kiddies method, very simple method, very boring method, but it will save your time like anything. So check to the screen now, how it will be benefited to us. Hope you have made it note, or else you can take a print screen of it. Now I'm deleting this and I'll move up. What is the benefit of listening this much of things? How to open a tool and why to remember the tool's name and the keyboard shortcut. Is it clear? So I'm deleting this screen now. Hope you have record the things or like take a print screen. So how many category of tools are there? It is clear: selection, creating, modifying, and vector and helpers. Getting it close?
Yes.
Now, if you know this keyboard shortcut, then you can see you can immediately switch to the full screen mode. Now, if you need to have a selection, yes. If you need to move up, here. Just I'm showing you like without seeing to your toolbar, you can focus to your job. And initially it is painful, but once you get habit, it makes the job much more easier for you and it will save your time. That is what the concept. Fine then. So the task has been given and I'm writing the task. What is to be done of? Note all tools, name and keyboard shortcut. Is it okay? Task 1 is ready. Fine then. So let us move to the first tool. So now we'll be entering into the tools. So a lot of information will be passed out. How the information will be passed? A skeleton has been there on your screen. Just check to it up. We'll be passing out the information like name of the tool, hotkey of the tool, cursor related to the tool, method of working with the tool, tips and tricks on the tool, example on the tool, and with that tool what can be done by you, that you need to decide. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
ప్రతి టూల్స్ కి నేను ఒక్కొక్క ఐకన్ ఈ లెవెల్లో చెప్పగలుగుతాం. If not anything, your 50 pages book will fill up with the notes if you seriously doing the note. So we'll start up with this format. So your note could be like this, or you can adopt a better method also, because every human being is creative in their format. So you can adopt your own method also, but I'm passing out the information in this way. Just that's what I just made it open. Fine. So let us start with your first tool. Just closing the file. How to close the file? What is the hotkey? How to close an image? In the last class we have learned.
Yes, sir.
Does the question okay?
Yes, sir.
Control plus W. This is what the exercise to be done. So every day we'll be punching up with 10-20 hotkeys. Just make a Excel sheet, because you are professionals. People comes to you because you save their time. So at that time it will help you out. Fine. So we are not making more strain. Just basic things only we are discussing. Just take care of that part. In the next on, we'll be focusing more like in-depth thing. To create the rhythm, I'm just generating the things. Fine. So close the Control W to close the file, because it is your profession. You need to take care in 360-degree. Fine. So start opening it and closing it. Fine. So we have done how to open and how to close within fraction of second. But it has been told you in the last class with the two hotkeys, CTRL plus O and CTRL plus W. It is there in the file menu. We need to adopt this, because every time we'll be opening the file and closing the file. So these two hotkeys takes a major role. Fine. So let's go. File. Open is known now. Today we'll be learning a new hotkey. What is that? Control N. It helps the artist to create a new file to do the practice. Just switch on to the Control N. We'll be going more detail about this new file in the later session. But for the timing to do the practice, we are just taking the help of default Photoshop size. What are the things we are taking? Default Photoshop size. It allows the artist to do the practice. Fine. I'll be coming to this next bunches in very detailed manner in the next class. But for the timing, the first one we have taken default Photoshop size. Go for OK. You can define any practice size. Once the file get open, yes, how to detach it from the canvas attached, you know, in the last class, drag like this, you can move it to wherever you like. Next, the first tool inside the toolbar. We'll be starting with the first tool. So name of the tool, move your cursor over there, wait for a while, it will pop up the name, and the name is called rectangular marquee tool. So the first job is done up. Name of the tool, rectangular marquee tool. And the keyboard shortcut, M. So this is to be get record. Fine. Now what is the things to be get learned? How does the cursor looks like? And what is the method of working? So let us focus to this third option, third point to learn. Cursor related to the tool. Every pointer gives some information, and the artist should know which type of pointer are coming and when it is coming, what is their job role. In every software, to become a professional, software talks a lot of things in icon wise. So when does this cursor comes, what does it speaks, that makes a matter. So check to the screen now. How does the cursor looks like? Crosshair. Can you see? दिख रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Now start making the note. Serial number, icon, when it comes, what it does. Is it clear? The first cursor, how does it looks like? Crosshair. Just I'm taking care of the first tool. The rest of the things you need to do in this way, because in this way you cannot able to take more like sessions, because it will slow down the process. But as a initial classes, I'm taking this into care. But this method could be adapted for every tool. When it comes, whenever you are activating it, activate it. What is going to do? It is going to start the work, going to do selection. It has not done the selection. Is it okay?
Okay,
First
sir.
cursor here. Now let us see the next topic into method of working with the tool. What is the method? What is the topic? How to work with the tool. You can see over here, the method is written on the screen. Click, drag, and leave. What is to be done? Click, drag, and leave it up. In this way, you can able to make a selection. It is done. So we have understood now how to make a small selection on screen through the first tool, and the name of the tool is called rectangular marquee tool, and the hotkey M. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Minimum 30 hotkey I will tell up regarding this tool. So how much patience you do have? Just get it arranged. ఒక్క tool మీద 50 hotkeys ఉన్నాయి, tips and tricks ఉన్నాయి. So just I will take your approval for the patience purpose. Whenever you feel like it is painful, we'll shift to the next tool. But if you do have patience, we'll go in depth.
Yes, sir.
Fine, thanks. Thus, it is not to make you stain, but to what are the things we know, we will pass it up. How to handle, take care of the things. Fine. Once the selection is happened, then you can able to see the cursor turns into a different manner. It is not the same cursor. Though the tools remain the same, but the cursor is not the same. How does the cursor looks like? Arrow with a box mark. Now the next thing started out. Arrow with a box mark. Does it clear?
Yes, sir.
Name of the tool rectangle, but cursor get changed. And when it comes over the selection, then what it does, it allowed to move the selection. It move the selection. So we have understood now the same tool can able to help us to make a rectangle or square, and the same cursor is helping us to move the selection, but condition apply. Are we over to the selection or away from the selection? If you are away from the selection, it will create a new selection. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
But if you are over to the selection, you can move it up. This happens generally a little problem to the starter. Starter always want to move it up, and he's trying this, and it doesn't happen. And the reason behind it, he's doing the right job, but the position of the cursor is not in the right place. He feel to move, but is not moving because the cursor is not in the proper position. This is the micro level things happens generally to any starter, but sometimes they get feel strain and it is not happening like that. But it is not to get worried. Only the things to be learned: cursor reading. You need to be very observative over to the cursor. How does the cursor looks like? Then only the reaction will start up. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
So we have understood now how to create a selection and how to move a selection. Fine. Now the same thing, we can able to switch to the professional board. Now the first hotkey we are hitting the tab button. Which button? Tab. Out. Toolbar is not there. Now the next button, what is that? F, to get it full screen. And the next button, F, full screen. And the next key, Control plus. Control plus. So just I've shown you what is to be done on your left hand. The left hand should be on the keyboard. If you want to be a professional, if it is happening, okay, or stop the class, put the question, get it happen, then proceed further. Am I right now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then it make you a little professional. That is what my concern, not to make you confused. Yes, I do understand it is painful because it should come on your left hand keyboard. But what are the things I know? I'm just passing it out. And a lot of awesome are there to learn. Still, I'm learning. My teacher is also learning. Fine. Till now, it's okay. So got to know two things: how to make a selection and how to move a selection through the rectangular marquee tool. Now the next concern. Once a selection is done up, what are the action could be done with your selection? This is the next thing to be learned up. What I can able to do this selection? Question over. And the answer, it is there in your right click over the selection. What can be done with the selection is there in the right click. These many events can be done with the selection. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And the next thing, you can find the same on the selection menu and a little more which can be done to the selection. So what can be done by the selection? It is there in the right click as well as it is there in the selection menu. In a very systematic order, they have arranged the thing. Selection menu. Fine then. So the first action to be done is deselect. Can you see? Deselect. Then whatever the selection has been done, it will go off. So you got to know the first activities, how to make a selection, how to deactivate the selection by right click over to it. And the same job can be done through the selection menu and here the option deselect. Is it clear? The point to be note here, you can see a keyboard shortcut, Control D. Now the action start. It is to be get note of. What you can write, hotkey of the day. What is the hotkey got to know? CTRL plus D. Control D. What is that option? Deselect. Is it done? Fine then. So just I'm taking your approval.
Sure.
Select Control D out. So can you see now on your screen? Within a fraction of a second, you can get it away. You do have two choices. Either you can go for right click and do it up, or else go to the selection and click over here, or else the third option you got to know, Control D. Immediately it save your time. No click, no disturbance out from your screen. Control D. Just I've shown you three different methods to do the same event. To make deselection, we do have three methods. What are those? Right click, selection menu, and CTRL plus D. It is done for a single event. Three methods are there. How much professional you are, you can adopt that method and you can save your time. Fine. So deselection is over. Now, whenever you are making this rectangle tool to work on your screen, by default it make a rectangle. Can you see? You cannot able to make a square out of this, because the time you drag it always go abnormal, horizontal and vertical are not the same, so it always make a rectangle. Now the tips and tricks on the tool. So we'll go to the next one, tips and tricks on the tool. What is happening inside the classroom? I'm just making the point and showing the topics so that you can able to record the thing proper. Tips and tricks on the tool. Now the first tips and tricks on the tool, hope you are catching. If not, make me stop. On your keyboard, you can start using this control button. Can you see? Control. I'm using now the control button and doing the same rectangle tool to get it work out. Then what happened? It will not make a rectangle. Just it hang up. Fine. I'm using now the control and trying to make the same. Just a minute, not the control. I am wrong here. So I'm switching to the Alt button. Which button? Alt button. Now Alt make it symmetric. Can you see now? Both the side increasing simultaneously. Which button? Alt button. Just hitting the button Alt, because now the tips and tricks starts and it is not visible on your end because I'm using the keyboard, but here I'm mentioning the key Alt. Make symmetric. What it does? It makes symmetric. Both sides equal. The same rectangle is forming, but both sides equal. The first method were only dragging. In drag, what happens? The click point becomes the start point, and in both the sides, it is increasing. This is the first method. Now the second method, you make a symmetrical rectangle by the Alt button. Now the third method. Does rectangle okay? First method is also a rectangle. Second method is also a rectangle, but you can find the difference between them. What is the difference? The click point becomes the center point in the second case. It is the first tips and tricks started. Here the click point becomes the initial point. Rectangle is both, but how to make the rectangle? It depends on the requirement. Now this third tips and tricks on it. Rather than Alt, use the button called Shift. Now drag it up. What is happening on your screen? It never allow the artist to make a rectangle. It always make a square. So the third tips and tricks on your screen. Just I'm scribbling on the paint, but it should be a fade note on your end. What is the button? Shift. Shift allow the artist to make a square from the rectangle marquee tool. It make a square. Till now you have seen everything is rectangle, but henceforth you can make a square out of it. All the things are in the same tool. What is the tool name? Rectangular marquee tool. Now the fourth tips and tricks. Same tool, but I'm just making the points to rise more and more, so it should get benefit to you. Now the time you're hitting Alt and Shift button together, can you see on your screen? So Here a keyboard Alt and Shift. Is it visible to you? दिखाई दे रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Alt and Shift written on the screen.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So hope now keyboard what is used that is also visible on the screen. Catch to the screen now. It is going to make a square from the click point as a center point. So you can see now the square has been made, but it is from the click point as the center point. So next note is done here. The fourth tips and tricks. So just how to make the note. Fine then. Here, getting a little zoom. The fourth tips and tricks. By the help of Alt plus Shift, what you can able to make? We can make a square, but the click point becomes the center point. Here you can see the icon where the click point is. It is on the edge. It is also a square. It is also a square. But the difference, the click point is the initial point or the click point is the center point. The same thing is the difference here. Both are rectangle. But the difference, does the click point is the start point or the center point? As per that, the difference will come up and the keyboard shortcut will do the work. So you can find out how much important your Alt, Control and Shift buttons. And this makes the difference between the starter and the professionals. All the games happens on the keyboard. So your left hand should be on the keyboard and you can take the maximum profit on it. Fine then. So we have understood now what Alt and Shift command can able to do. So, and we got to know what is called rectangle marquee tool and how to handle the rectangle marquee tool normally and with keyboard shortcuts to get the maximum advantage of it. Now the next action. So it is a lot of theory has been happened. So let us do some practical output, how to use this knowledge to get artwork. What we have learned, how to make a selection. And the selection could be on a blank screen or the selection could be done on an image. If it is on an image, yes, you can make the selection. You can drag the image outside and you can take this image and drop in the next canvas by the next tool that is called move tool. And the keyboard shortcut for move tool is V. So name of the tool, move. So let me get the cursor over there and you can find the name, move tool, keyboard shortcut V. It allows the artist to move the image and you can see the cursor. How does the cursor looks like? Black with a scissor mark, black arrow, head with a scissor mark. It moves to the other canvas. So you got to know now how to make a selection and how to move the selection from one canvas to the other canvas. Is it clear? And I hope you can able to understand like how much sensitive to be there in the class. Once again, make a selection, take the move tool, drag it up, don't leave in the middle, move it completely to the next canvas, then release your cursor. This is how we can able to use the present knowledge. This is one of the example we have done. So you can able to see on the screen example given by the faculty inside the classroom. What we have learned, how to cut an image with the help of your present knowledge. By the help of two tools, one is called rectangular marquee tool and another is your move tool. Does it okay?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So we can make a note what we have learned, the examples in the classroom. Cut an image. Cut an image. Does it okay? What is the tool you have learned? What is the hotkey you have learned? What is the tips and tricks you got to know? What is the example you got to know? This makes sense. If it is there, nobody will stop you from your career. But yes, professionally to be taken into care. So now got to know how to make a cutout of the image with the present knowledge. Let us move to the next action. So moving, and the delete button is there, you can delete it. Fine. Let us make a little more event. Make a selection, right? I'll take your approval at every steps so that we can go more into depth. Now, on your option bar, you can also see below to the menu bar, there is an option bar. Now the question should come, what is option bar? Am I right? It is a place where the active tool can be customized. ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది ఏమి టూల్ యాక్టివ్లో ఉంటుంది అది మళ్ళీ చేంజెస్ కావాలంటే ఇక్కడ చేంజ్ చేయొచ్చు. That means what? This tool is not only capable of doing a rectangle, it can do a lot of things which is there in the menu bar. And that is to be taken care by the artist. So how to make a small tool to work abnormal? This is the place. In every tool, you can adopt this method. Now, if you can catch to the option bar, there are few boxes here and there are icons in a different manner. By default, the first one will be in active format. That's why it make always a new selection. But if you move to the next option on the option bar, you can find it looks like two boxes are together and it is technically called as add button. So it add the selections. Can you see the cursor? It is speaking add to selection. That means if already a selection is there, you can add more selection to it. Now catch your screen. If you can able to look, a plus button come up. Can you see? Dikh raha hai?
Yes, sir.
And it is your time to get a note. As you've got know how to make a note, that make a sense. The third cursor comes into the picture. How does the third cursor looks like? Plus. When it comes, whenever it is in additive mode, add mode. What it does? It add the selection. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Check to the screen now. We can able to make some event. Yes. Add more selection. Add more selection. How to use it in a creativity? In a creatively, it depends. But yes, we got to know how to deselect, how to make selection, how to add selection, how to add selection, how to add selection. 1 and 2, 3. Is it clear? We start up making addition to the selection. Exactly the same way, we can able to subtract the selection. The next method, subtract. And check to the screen, you find the cursor comes up with a negative mark. And make the note now, the fourth cursor into the picture. Plus with negative sign. It subtract the thing. Right? Minus. This selection. Just I'm making the note in a random manner, since scribbling in my own way, but you can able to write in your own way. It doesn't mean like English में लिखना है, मैं जैसा लिखता हूँ वैसा नहीं. आपको जैसे समझ में आए वैसे लिखो. But action has to be done from your end. Fine. So we got to know how does the cursor looks like. How many type of cursor comes? What is the tool? When it comes? What it works? And check to the screen now. We need to get it minus. So if you're dragging something now, it will cut the area wherever it has come across. So we have understood here how to make a selection, how to add a selection, how to subtract a selection. Is it okay? The whole business of art is this. Rectangle is there with your hand and you know how to add, subtract. 30-40% design has to come up from your end now. Deselect. So here we have understood how to get it active through click method. Now we'll be switching to the professional method. Does it okay?
Yes, sir.
How we can able to do all the things without clicking there through the keyboard. So it will save your time and it will focus to your artwork. Let us jump on to it. First will be there in a selection way. Now what is the time required to make it addition? To get it add without going over here, we can able to use a keyboard shortcut called Shift button. Which button? Shift button. Shift allow you to add the selection. Does it clear? Now it is the time to get a note. What is the button? Shift. Shift for addition. Now here you can able to see the difference. The tools remain the same. The keyboard shortcut remain the same, but the action is different. Before this shift button is making a square, now the shift button is making an addition. How does it happen? What is the difference? How it behave differently? These are all the questions. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And the difference comes before it was no selection. Whenever the screen doesn't have any selection, the shift behave to make square. Whenever the selection is there, the same shift behaves to make addition. Is it clear?
Sir.
Condition without selection or with selection. If without selection, it make a square. With selection, it make a addition behavior. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Let us move to the next action to get it subtract. And the action will be done by the Alt command. What is the command? Alt. If you hold the Alt command, your cursor turns into negative mark and you can cut the file, cut the selection. So make the note. Which command? Alt command. It makes subtraction. Is it clear? Addition, subtraction can be done by manual method. It can be done by the professional method. And now the next action will be learning a new action, and that is called intersection. The 1, 2, 3, fourth button. Can you see in the option bar? Fourth button is intersection. What does it does and how does the cursor looks like? Plus mark with a multiplication mark. It allows the artist to extract the common area between before selection and present selection. ముందే ఉంటా selection, ఇప్పుడు ఉంటా selection की common area బయటకు వస్తాయి. Does it clear? So we have understood now how to make intersection, addition, subtraction, and the third behavior we got to know, intersection. Just the place is not there, so I'm just raising it a little more. Fine. You can make the note here. The next cursor comes into the picture, plus with a multiplication mark. Plus with multiply mark. What it does, it makes intersection. So you can now understand now, a single tool does this much of things, and Photoshop does have a lot of tools, and that much of note you can able to make your own. Just it is an initiative, what you can able to do with the tools. Intersection. What it does, it make common area out. Common area out. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Manual method finished, and it could be activated by the combining these two options together. Alt plus Shift. It make intersection activated. Clear now? So check onto the screen the practical output. Initially, I'm starting with new one, new selection, and Alt and Shift. Now you can see this become activated and the cursor becomes plus with a multiplication mark, and drag it out. The common area comes into the picture. Is it done?
Yes, sir.
What? Now we got to know a lot of theoretical things. We'll move a little practical things now. How to make a little artwork with this knowledge. Check. Anywhere you are not getting, let me stop. Make a new selection with the shift command. It always allow you to make the square only. Once the square is done up, then hold the Alt button. It allow you to cut the file, and the next button is the shift. It allow you to add the file also, but using the shift to get it subtract, and the shift button to add up. Does it okay? So what you got to know, how to make an objective drawing with your present knowledge. You're just using the tool, rectangular marquee tool. How to make an icon from the present knowledge. You can do the wonders because every brain is creative in their format. They can make the magic. I do believe in that. So you can do wonders, yes. What is the theory you got to know? Have some practical involvement on it. Again, I'm doing this. Deselect. Make a selection with the shift command. It make a square. Then hold the Alt, get it subtract. Whichever the area you don't want, get it minus. Now we can able to get it minus from the outside also. From the outside also. It is a time to get rid of the selection in the middle. Then use the shift button, or else click over there and bring it onto the center. Is it okay? समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
So we got to know how to make a icon design. Now few more actions will add up to get the color to come onto the screen. Just give a right click. You can find an option called fill. Am I right? You can see the screen. Fill command is there. The time you click on the fill command, the software will ask you a few questions. He'll ask you what you want. A lot of things can be filled there. Do you want a color? He's asking you. Very simple question. Just switch to the color. What are these? We'll be talking in the next session. Then the software will ask you which color? Yes, fill it up. Now the job is over. Does it clear? समझ में आया?
Sir.
So what you got to know now? How to use the fill command on the right click, and how to switch to the button called color, and how to choose your color and get it okay, and the job is done. Now it is the time to get the other area to get blue. Let us take example. You need blue on the outer side and the red to be in the inner side. So what is the task to be done now? This much of area to be get deselect. Am I right? We don't need this area to be select. Then how to deselect or how to subtract? You have learned subtraction. Just drag it up, make that much of area to get like omitted. Then present area is this. Again, do the same event. Go for fill. Ask the software color. Choose your color. Get it okay. Job is done. Is it okay? So you have understood now how to make a rectangle, how to fill a color, how to add the things, how to subtract the things, how to intersect the things, and how to execute into an icon manner. This is just an initiative, and you can do wonder with your ideas, because you can do the mathematics. It is permutation combinations. So 100 of designs could be created. So the example given inside the classroom, I just taken it into the screen and place it over here. So what is the task to be done? That is very clear to you now. So after the class, what can be done? So these are the examples which has been done inside the classroom, and you can have a try. The first action, example first one, cut the images and place in your canvas. Second, make some icons. Third, make a note by collecting the name and the keyboard shortcut. What are the things you have listened inside the classroom? Make a good note of it. And try to find out the cursors while you are practicing. Does it coming or not? Does the addition is happening or not? Does the subtraction is happening or not? And try some few more examples. So I'm just taking a new canvas to add up few more. Just take Control N command, make the default Photoshop size, and take your rectangle, start getting some box designs, and start showing your creativity with the box. Hold the Alt, get it minus, get it minus, get it add up, add up, add up, get it minus, fill the color, switch to the fill, done. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
How to add the things? You can make 100 of designs. Make a rectangle, just theory you have learned, now switch to the little practical. Right? Now get it minus, minus, fill it, minus, minus. Right? Just what you're doing, addition, subtraction, filling the color. Icons, symbols, and buttons, a lot of works are with the boxes. So get use the box and start showing some creative work. Is it okay? Find the summary of the class is there on your screen. Just I'm making it the small view so you can take a picture of it. So what you have learned inside the classroom, a lot of keyboard shortcuts, icons, and the task is very clear on your screen. Take some examples from the net. What can be done with a rectangle? This is the task to be done. Make scribble. No need to get worried to make big designs. Just box has to come into your grip. What I can do with the box? Mobile, computer, desk, table, all these things are the example of your boxes only. So try to create some box and fill the color. So the event we got to know regarding this selection is 3. So getting down, what are the things we have learned regarding the selection? First thing we have learned is fill. And the second thing we got to know, deselect. Right? How to fill the color, how to deselect. Addition, subtraction, intersection, it's one of the part. Still have a try, and what are the things you are getting doubts, we'll make it clear. So anything you want to ask me up?
I think
Sir,
so.
is
Okay.
hello, sir.
Tell me.
Is there any class by tomorrow?
No, tomorrow is Sunday, no?
Yes, sir.
No class, no class.
Sir, what about recording?
So it don't depend on that. Sometimes it is happening, it is not happening, but make sure like you are making the note proper. I'm not making it to depend on this, but yes, already pre classes are there in YouTube. I've shown you the path. You can check over there.
Okay,
And
sir.
all these paint versions I'm saving. If you need, I can able to mail you up on your mail ID also. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
And you can take a snapshot of also. Just I'm making it to go for full screen now. And the task is very clear. Still, you do have a Sunday, and you can have a try of some design. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Then I'm stopping the sharing option now.